Hey, welcome to the podcast, everyone. I'm Coach Dane, your host, and today we're tackling a topic that speaks to the heart of leadership and personal fulfillment, developing the character of a winner. This particular podcast is based on another podcast on developing the character of a winner, produced by the John Maxwell organization, and I'm one of John's coaches, his executive team coaches. And so I want to be able to express the fact that, hey, one of the quotes that I use from John is that character is the foundation of leadership. This isn't just about achieving outward success. It's about building a life and legacy that align within your deepest values inside. A legacy that you can live, not just leave, that resonates long after all of the accolades that you get from life fade. So we're going to be exploring some insights from this podcast, a lot of it based on John Maxwell's leadership philosophy with stories that bring these principles to life. So whether you're a C-suite executive charting the next big move or a leader focused on building an enduring legacy, this episode is for you. So in the first segment, we talked about the foundation of character. John Maxwell often says talent is a gift, but character is a choice. So let that sink in. While talent may open doors, it's character that determines how far you'll go once you're inside. And John shares a powerful example with Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A. At a time when expansion seemed like the obvious path, Cathy made a counterintuitive decision. Instead of prioritizing growth, he focused on quality, better before bigger. By embedding character and values into every layer of his business, Truett Cathy built a foundation for sustainable success. Think about that in your own leadership. Are you making decisions based on immediate gains, or are you considering the long-term impact? As executives, it's our responsibility to ensure that our decisions are aligned with principles and values that stand the test of time. Remember, character, those character skills, as I like to call them with the Tricycle Effect, or principles or values, are what form the foundation of leadership. It's just unfortunate that many of us don't actually focus on building that foundation with character first, so then all of the other things can come afterwards in terms of success. Segment 2 of this podcast, and I have a link at the bottom of this particular podcast that I put out, so you can go listen to the original one as well, talks about inside-out success. So John's concept of inside-out success is pivotal. He challenges us to define success on our own terms, not by society's metrics. The highlight reel, like from social media and what other people think about us, but by our own values. For him, success means this: those closest to me who know me best respect me the most. And Mark Cole, the CEO of the Maxwell Leadership Enterprise, echoes this same sentiment. For Mark, success isn't about possessions. It's about relationships. It's a call to leaders to focus not just on the climb, but on the people we're climbing with. And if you've listened to my other podcasts, I've also talked about my climb up Mount Ararat, a 17,000-foot extinct volcano in the eastern side of Turkey when I was stationed there in the United States Air Force. And most of that climb, I was focused on the team members, getting us all to the top. And so here's a question for you. How do you define success? Is it tied to your titles or revenue and growth? Or is it about the legacy that you're living and leaving in the lives of those around you? If you're sacrificing relationships for success, it's time to recalibrate. Segment 3 talks about values as the anchor. I love that. Values as an anchor. If character is the foundation of leadership, then values also help us anchor ourselves in that foundation, right? So in turbulent times, values act as our anchor. When we're struggling with things, those values should be what we go back to as our foundation to anchor ourselves and get a better footing to get started again. Interesting that on Mount Ararat, every step you took because it was an extinct volcano, probably you slid back maybe 1 to 3 feet. It was tough sometimes getting up that mountain. Well, Maxwell emphasizes that values provide stability when the storm hits. So if you don't have good footing, it's tough to make that climb, right? So during the COVID crisis, as Mark brings out, he faced a critical decision. Should they compromise on their principles to protect their business? They didn't. They chose to lead with integrity instead, even at potential cost or risk of the organization. And that's leadership with character. In fact, that's leadership with character in action. It's about sticking to your values no matter what, not because it's easy, but because it's right. And so I want to encourage you as leaders today to do the right thing at the right time for the right reason, just like I bring out in the Tricycle Effect, that we need to be leading with the character skills, all those spokes on that front character wheel of the tricycle, to make sure that we have ourselves grounded, we know what direction we're going, and we know how fast we're going in terms of where we're going in this life. As leaders, we're constantly tested, right? Will we take the easy path or the uphill road that builds resilience and integrity? Everything worthwhile, John reminds us, is uphill. All right, segment 4, the primal drive for meaning. So let's tap into something primal. I love this, the drive for meaning. I think all of us as humans, this is one of those aspects of our humanity that pulls us together and makes us connected, is that drive for meaning. We all want to know that we mean something, either to ourselves or to someone else. So beyond profits, beyond growth, lies the human need to matter. Developing the character of a winner isn't just logical or emotional, it's visceral. It's about creating something enduring, something that transcends that quarterly report. Think of your organization. Does it reflect your deepest values? Are your team members inspired not just to work hard, but to work with purpose? Leadership with character ignites loyalty and innovation, and it builds something far greater than numbers can measure. So, let me ask you this question. If you're ready to lead with character and transform your definition of success, are you ready to take the next step? Dive into John Maxwell's book, Change Your World. You can watch the podcast link right here. At the bottom of this podcast, there's a hyperlink so you can go straight to it. But I really encourage you to take a moment today to define or even redefine your core values. Share them with your family. Share them with your team. Share them with your friends, your inner circle. Commit to them, because leadership begins from within. Let's build something that lasts. All right? Until next time, this is Coach Dane challenging you to lead with character first. Live, lead, and love. Trike on.